At Sierra, discover great deals on top brand workout gear, like high-quality walking shoes, which might lead to another discovery.
40,000 steps, baby. Who's on top now, Karen?
You've taken the office step challenge a step too far. Don't worry, though. Sierra also has yoga gear. It might be a good place to find your zen. Discover top brands at unexpectedly low prices. Sierra, let's get moving.
Doug. Here we have the Limu Emu in its natural habitat, helping people customize their car insurance and save hundreds with Liberty Mutual. Fascinating. It's accompanied by his natural ally, Doug.
Limu? Is that guy with the binoculars watching us?
Cut the camera. They see us.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Savings vary. Underwritten by Liberty Mutual Insurance Company and affiliates. Excludes Massachusetts.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. Listening to this podcast? Smart move. Being financially savvy? Smart move. Another smart move? Having State Farm help you create a competitive price when you choose to bundle home and auto. Bundling, just another way to save with the Personal Price Plan. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there. Prices are based on rating plans that vary by state. Coverage options are selected by the customer. Availability, amount of discounts and savings, and eligibility vary by state.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz podcast.
Before we get to Michelle Beadle here, always happy to see Michelle when she graces us with her presence. Can you give us the Hampton Farms winner here this week on the Hampton Farms Nuttiest Fan of the Week, please, Chris?
Yes, Dan. Congrats to the Virginia fans. They are this week's Nuttiest Fan, presented by Hampton Farms, the official snack nut of the tailgate. Keep an eye out for Lucy at Notre Dame this week if you think you are your team's Nuttiest Fan. And this was one of the craziest things I've ever seen. Usually when you storm a field, you have to jump down to something. This was just people taking off onto the field. Somebody had to get hurt in there.
It did look like World War Z. It did look like the fastest of the zombie apocalypse. I can't believe how fast they got out there. They are very lucky there was not a penalty flag on the play because it would have been hard to retrieve everyone. Michelle, it is nice to see you. I've got a number of different questions, but
me too.
Are you someone who laments and polices the storming of the field, or are you someone who is pro-joy for everyone, even if it comes with calamitous injury?
Well, that one was scary only because there was a player still down. So it was like, uh-oh, this is going to be a problem. I was watching it with a friend of mine who's not a sports fan, and she was just like, is this normal? I'm like, it's not that it's normal. That one looked particularly crazy. But no, look, when I was at UT, we went up to College Station to watch the Longhorns play the Aggies, and we beat them, and we stormed the field, and they have those soldier people, and they were rough with us, and we left and went back to Austin. So, like, it's a thing. It's a rite of passage. As long as no one gets severely hurt, I think we're good. I
can argue that was safer than most, because a lot of times it's like a long drop and you see these people who aren't prepared and they hurt their ankles on the long fall.
Fair.
Sometimes. So I actually think while this looked dangerous, this was probably safer than a lot of field stormings.
That's a great point. Physics, baby. By the way, Dan, what's the vibe here? I love this for you. I really think this is...
It's just in honor of you being San Antonio at your core.
Wow.
I decided to dress up for you so that you would feel welcome here. And
wow. Yeah. I never that's like uncanny what's going on right now.
I'm having trouble with the mutton chops. They keep falling off because they've got eyelash glue on them and they get stuck to the headsets and stuff. Yeah, but I'm going for the gemstones here. Jesse Gemstone.
Obviously.
Are you a gemstones person?
I'm a huge fan. Love Judy. Was just out in South Carolina, which I guess is where McBride has homes or a home, and never saw him, but that would have been a good celebrity spotting for me. One that I actually would have enjoyed. She
is the host of the NBA show Run It Back with Chandler Parsons and Lou Williams. Whenever I see the name Lou Williams, for some reason, do you know what I'm going to say here? I just think of his...
two girlfriends?
He seemed to have two girlfriends at the same time publicly and was okay with it, and everybody was okay with it. Have you covered this material with him and Chandler on your show?
I'm not on the show. Like, our pre-show meetings, honestly, should be half of the show. They are, you guys know how it is. It's not really the show being discussed at all. It's more about, like, if Chandler went to prison, would he be... the guy who gets it or the guy who gives it?
Well, okay, good.
We have good 7 a.m. talk. But
which
Lou,
one was it?
He thinks he'd be the one giving, but no chance. There's no chance. He's too pretty, and he's pretty.
He's pretty for prison.
He's going to be popular. But Lou, we've asked Lou, because I'm obsessed with it. I mean, he did something before the word throuple was just being thrown around. Lou was crushing that lifestyle and is so nonchalant. Like Lou's the coolest person I've ever been around without trying. And so he just was like, yeah, everybody knew what was up. There's no lying. There's no secrets. Honestly, it's an honorable way to live. I would suggest he was probably more honest in his relationship than most people are in theirs. So kudos to Lou Will.
And what are the well, I don't want to ask too many questions here, but what are the unexpected things that might come up there that people aren't assuming would come up there that would be problematic when you have an open relationship like that?
Well, I mean, look, I would think from a person who's not had an open relationship, or at least not one that I knew we were having, is that it's, somebody gets jealous or the rules aren't followed or what. Shut up, guys. Or the rules aren't followed. But the way he was doing this, the way he talks about it, everybody was in on, like, everybody was good. They were getting what they needed, both emotionally, physically, like they're all just chill. It made it sound almost like, I'm just not wired that way, but sounded interesting.
What are you expecting from your Spurs and Wembanyama? They were quiet last year once he got hurt, and so the growth was a bit stunted on what that team would be. And now Pop is gone. You're expecting what from your Spurs? Because nobody's talking about them.
Well, because it's playoffs or bust, as far as I'm concerned, and it's happening. Not play in, playoffs. I don't care what seed. They'll be the last seed. That's fine. But I think that there's Wemby's back, from all accounts, stronger, healthy. We all were watching him, everything he was doing over the summer, silence with the monks and just sort of taking over the world. And so, yeah, I'm a homer. What am I going to sit here and say, another year of learning? No, man, we're not wasting any more time. It's like Wemby time. I don't want to waste any more years. He's had a nice intro to the league. Everybody knows what to expect from him as long as he stays healthy. Knock on wood 1,000 times. Yeah. We're doing this. Yeah, I'm weeing it, by the way. Full Spurs gear behind me. We are going to the
Take us on a tour here on what is behind you. What is some of the stuff here? Take us through some of the stuff here that's most meaningful to you.
We got a Yoda.
What's that candle? Is that a candle of your own face? Is that a
No, that's Pop. That's Pop.
No, the other one. I didn't think that was your
that's
face.
Tina Fey. Yeah, I know. It could be my face. Look, time's coming. Tina Fey, we've got a glove from when Apple Baseball kicked off and they spelled my name wrong and sent it to me. I'm just honored that was even on some sort of a list. My various I'm not a good weather person. I'm going the wrong way.
You've been on television for a long time, Michelle. I figure you'd be better at this.
I haven't mastered a green screen. I haven't really had to do one. Spurs shoes and my Ricky Ricardo. Yeah, he's no longer an F1 driver, but he's still in our hearts. I got my marathon, my half marathons, my Timmy Duncan figurine. Yeah, no, it's and then above it, 1,000 pairs of shoes. So,
it's a good setup. The Yoda, what's happening with the Yoda there?
He's just it's like a god to me. He's got interchangeable parts. You can give him a lightsaber if you want. Otherwise, he's got his nice cane. I keep the cane up, just keep us all humble,
How about the books? Pick one of the books there that you like that has some sort of meaning to you of any kind. I'll filibuster for you here so you get some time
I like the Big Bad Book of Bill Murray, just because I think all things Bill Murray. And then honestly, hold on. There's two of them, right? Because they were written by friends, and you guys know how it is when friends write books. You're like, all right. So my buddy Bill Schoening covered the Spurs. He did radio for the Spurs for I'm not even kidding, 30-something years. He just retired. And Josh Wolf is my guy. And I will read anything that he puts out. I go see him whenever he's in town. He was a single dad for a while, and that's not usually the way that goes. So he's got cool stories to tell.
Let's put up on the screen here, Zion. Zion, no embarrassment here. Zion with the skinny arms here. Zion has lost a ton of weight. Zion is as unique a basketball player as there has ever been. And I do wonder, even though I never fat shamed him, I do wonder how much strength gets lost with him being this kind of skinny. I don't know enough about the human body and what it takes to be him. What are your thoughts when you see Zion Williamson looking like this?
Well, as a person who treats her body as a temple as well, I can tell you that when you lose weight, you don't necessarily lose the strength, because he's got He's got all the advantages us mere mortals could only dream about. A chef on hand, I'm sure, whenever he needs it. If not provided by him, the team for sure. They are surrounded by trainers and nutritionists and the best of the best in the world of physical being. So I don't think I think if anything, he'll be faster. I hope that this will keep him from being more injury prone. I think he looks great. I think he looks the way we always wanted him to look. And that's horrible to say because who am I to say what we want? But you guys know what I mean. As fans of the sport and as fans of Zion, I think this is sort of the dream, is like to streamline it and get strong. And, the pictures are, by the way, some of these pictures coming out of these media days are wild. It's just ridiculous.
But this is startling. Like this is it. Is
it?
Well, I just think I would have a hard time recognizing him if he was not wearing the uniform.
What are you talking? This is not Jonah Hill, fat, skinny, fat, skinny. This is just Zion.
No, but he used to be square, and now he looks like somebody who's a perimeter player.
I know. Are you not excited?
I am excited. I'm excited for healthy Zion, but I am legitimately curious whether or not any of his strength gets impacted by that, because he's got to be 60 or 70 pounds lighter.
Yeah, which, by the way, but think about what you're saying. He's 60 or 70 pounds lighter, which means he can jump faster. He's going to be faster. Carrying around that extra, we've all been there, like carrying around extra weight.
Me more than
not
most.
Fun. Well, then it's not fun. Everything's more of an effort, and you have to just try so much harder to do what people are doing easily. I think this is going to be, again, knock on wood, because he's one of those guys that I think we cheer for, but we never get to see it to fulfill everything. And I think this version of him, I've got high hopes. It looks great. I was surprised, but in a great way.
She's the host of the NBA show Run It Back with Chandler Parsons and Lou Williams. They have exceptional chemistry together. Let's play for Michelle some of what Nafisa Collier had to say. I have not seen or heard a player of this caliber go after leadership with this kind of intensity. Caitlin Clark has notarized everything. She's co-signed all the points that Nafisa Collier made. Let's play that sound for Michelle, please.
I want to be clear, this conversation is not about winning or losing. It's about something much bigger. The real threat to our league isn't money. It isn't ratings or even missed calls or even physical play. It's the lack of accountability from the league office. Since I've been in the league, you've heard the constant concerns about officiating, and it has now reached levels of inconsistency that plague our sport and undermine the integrity in which it operates. Whether the league cares about the health of the players is one thing, but to also not care about the product we put on the floor is truly self-sabotage. The league has a buzzword that they've rolled out as talking points for the CBA as to why they can't pay the players what we're worth. That word is sustainability. But what's truly unsustainable is keeping a good product on the floor while allowing officials to lose control of games. Fans see it every night. Coaches, both winning and losing, point it out every night in pregame and postgame media. Yet leadership just issues fines and looks the other way. They ignore the issues that everyone inside the game is begging to be fixed. That is negligence. At Unrivaled this past February, I sat across from Kathy and asked how she planned to address the officiating issues in our league. Her response was, well, only the losers complain about the refs. I also asked how she planned to fix the fact that players like Caitlin, Angel, and Paige, who are clearly driving massive revenue for the league, are making so little for their first 4 years. Her response was, Caitlin should be grateful she makes $16 million off the court, because without the platform that the WNBA gives her, she wouldn't make anything. And in that same conversation, she told me players should be on their knees thanking their lucky stars for the media rights deal that I got them. That's a mentality driving our league from the top. The league believes it succeeds despite its players, not because of them.
Michelle is putting her hand over her smile the way McAfee does when Aaron Rodgers is talking. Like, what are you smiling about there?
I mean, first of all, yeah, this is not going to end well for Kathy, but it is shocking, right? This is not a woman. Nafisa Collier is all class. She is very highly involved, not just in the WNBA. She's got her own league that she started with Brianna Stewart. So she's not someone who just sort of sits off to the side and watches. She's involved. She's engaged. She's in it. And you're right. For somebody of her caliber to come out and say a prepared statement with receipts was a tough hear if you're anybody that's not named Kathy. But I'll say this. Good for her. I mean, look, we've all had you and I have had one of the same bosses who thought that they were the whole story and everything they did was why a company was succeeding and not because of all the people that were working hard to make it all happen. And sometimes when a suit will actually say that out loud, which again, we weren't in the room with Nafisa Collier and Kathy, but I have to believe her, right? Maybe there's a context to it that we're not getting and we'll never know. That being said, she's going to end up leaving this. I don't know how you come back from this. I don't even know how you reach out unless you do some sort of tete-a-tete that's publicly watched from everyone. But you got undressed by one of the biggest names in the league who is respected by everybody. And all of the things she said are sort of the things people have been whispering. You know, the money aspect of it all, I know everybody's got their different opinions on it. I'm not in their books, but I have to believe there has to be a way to pay a little bit more than what they actually are paying. When you can triple that waiting tables, that's a tough sell. And also the thing about, Caitlin Clark making $16 million off the court bothered me too, because how dare you? She came into the league. She was in college as a big deal. So it just felt like she was sort of trying to take some value away from what has been accomplished by these women. And that is not a good look, especially as a woman in charge. It was like a double-edged sword for me, and I didn't like any of it, but I loved Collier doing it. It's what we all want to do all the time. Well played.
This episode is supported by FX's The Lowdown, starring Ethan Hawke. Allow us to introduce you to Lee Raybon, a quirky journalist / rare bookstore owner / unofficial truth seeker who's always on the tail of his latest conspiracy. This time, his most recent expose puts him head to head with a powerful family that rules Tulsa, meaning only one thing: he must be onto something big. FX is The Lowdown, all new Tuesdays on FX. Stream on Hulu.
What does Zyn give you? Not just smoke-free nicotine satisfaction, but real freedom. Freedom to do what you love and choose your rewards. With Zyn Rewards, you can redeem points for premium tech, outdoor gear, and gift cards to your favorite retailers. Find your Zyn and keep finding rewards that fit your lifestyle at zyn.com/rewards. Warning, this product contains nicotine. Nicotine is an addictive chemical.
You ever try to name all your financial accounts and their balances, 401ks, investments, properties? I can barely remember what I had for lunch, let alone all that stuff. That's why I started using Monarch Money. It's an all-in-one finance tool that pulls everything together, your accounts, budgets, goals, into one clean dashboard on your phone or laptop. And let me tell you, it was a wake-up call. I found a 401k from some job I forgot existed, and it wasn't some small change. Ended up being a nice little chunk of change there for the boy. I realized that I had cash just sitting there doing nothing in my investments. Not as smart as I thought it was. Monarch makes all that obvious and actually feels doable. No spreadsheets, no hopping between apps, just a real clear view of my money. You can even share with your partner or financial advisor. No more wait. Let's see how much we spent on that coffee or that takeout. Monarch puts everything on the table, literally. Don't let financial opportunities slip through the cracks. Use code Dan at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That's 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code Dan.
Dan Le Batard.
Ahoy, it's Captain Slappy.
Stugotz.
Is this Chum Bucket?
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
Michelle, can I ask you some life advice that I'm curious on?
God.
Because
because I'm killing it. Go ahead.
Well, no. This is more like I'm interested in your perspective on this because I had an incident about a week ago, and I feel like you might have some insight on how I should handle this situation. How long should I have phone numbers for, and how often should I purge phone numbers? Not including death, because I feel like death, I wouldn't purge numbers just because I wouldn't want to lose the contact. Now, here's the specifics of this scenario where I thought I should probably start purging and getting rid of some numbers. So about a week ago, I tested positive for COVID. So I did what I thought was the responsible thing, and I reached out to coworkers because I had been at the office. I didn't think that I had that, obviously. And then I said, you know what? Let me go to a minute clinic. I'll get, checked out. I probably have like some sort of like cold, flu, whatever. And they're like, oh, you tested positive. So I'm like, I should probably text my coworkers and tell them, hey, just a heads up, if you're not feeling well, you should go get tested just in case and take the proper, precautions here. So I texted, instead of texting, we have a lot of people here. So instead of texting like 15, 20 people on one chain, I did like little groups based on, the departments or where I was hanging out with them or whatever, right? And I didn't want to tell everyone because I don't want to be out there freaking everyone out. There's people that would be unimpacted by this. So I went and I texted this group in this room and I said, oh, guys, just in case, just so you know, I tested positive. I don't want you to be, worried, but I also don't want to be the irresponsible one that's just not telling you about this. And I had one coworker reach out and say, "Are you okay?" And everyone else just ignored me, which I was like, I guess I should
land
even
the plane,
have told them.
Billy.
That's something. That's something.
Land the plane.
So then I texted other different groups, and one of the other groups that I texted, I had the person one of the two people reach out to me, and they said, "Hey, who's that number that you texted?" And I was like, oh, that's, this person. They're like, oh, that's not the number that I have for that person. And then I went back and I looked and I go, oh, that's not that person. That is someone that I worked with almost 20 years ago at the mall. That has the same first name, and I just have first names in there and not last names. So I texted someone that I haven't spoken to in nearly 20 years, and I said, I hate to, tell you this, but I have COVID, and I feel so bad about this situation. But if you're not feeling well, you should probably go and get yourself tested. And again, I haven't spoken to this person in nearly 20 years. And this person,
did they respond?
They did not respond, which part of me was like, wow, you've become so inconsiderate. And then I was like, let me look up.
They could be dead. They could be dead, which means then you can't erase the number now.
Not dead. Oh,
but dang. Okay. Great.
This is a person of the opposite sex. So then I looked the person up, and this person, me and my wife worked together at the mall. So she knows this person. So then in my head, I'm like, I wonder if this person now is going to reach out to my wife and be like, hey, your husband's been texting me and he's telling me he has COVID. And then it'll be a situation.
What is the advice that you need from Michelle?
Well, I'm trying to paint the picture accurately so she understands the conundrum that we're in here. Yeah. And then I checked her Instagram. I'm like, she's like in Asia right now. I don't think she's going to get this. Hopefully she's changed her number. In that case, I've now texted a total stranger telling them that I have COVID, and they have numbers of my coworkers too. So what is the, line on when I should probably just remove contacts to protect myself from myself?
You know what? Now that you're saying, I don't think I've ever deleted a number because I don't. So you have those friends that constantly are changing their numbers. So I always put their name with like the new date, so I know whatever the last number was.
But do you delete their old one? Because I don't. I'll just have like this person new, and then I'm like, I will literally never need their old phone number. But then they got a new one after new, so I'll either put like new or new 2025, and then was like Chris new after Chris new 2025. Like I don't know.
No, I put the actual date. Like Sean Elliott is known for changing numbers a lot. So I constantly am like, I don't know. Like right now, I'm not even 100% sure which of these is the current one. If maybe there's even a new one. I have no idea. I would never delete anything because why? But at the same time, you should mess with everybody in this. Send her a picture of your wee-wee and let's get this thing started.
Okay,
now that you've opened
up
the
not ask this advice. That is a terrible idea.
If you're going to get in trouble with your wife, make it worth the time.
Yes.
Don't delete anything.
Horrific advice. Thank you for nothing, Michelle.
Why would you ask me for advice?
Hey, you have a birthday coming up. Are you a birthday month person? Or
no, but it is a big birthday. It's 50.
Oh,
so
yikes.
Yeah. So I kind of feel like if I'm going to do, and I got enough friends with money. Yikes! I'm excited.
Why would you do yikes?
50, I was going to guess 40. It's almost over. Yeah.
I'm definitely on the backside.
Sad.
But all my friends with money, if you're listening, put your monies together and get me something nice. This is a big birthday. I don't want cards. I don't want a cake. I don't want a donut. I know what y'all are working with. Let's do it. Let's make it happen.
This is one where you text all the Sean Elliott numbers just to make sure he gets the message.
So he knows.
Where does that rank? 50's a big one. Where would we put
top
that?
5.
It's got to be top 3. No, it's got to be
top 3.
Top 50 for sure.
I would think that I would think the order would be some combination of 150 and 18 are the 3 big ones. No?
Wait, is it 18 or 21?
16 and 21. 16 you drive, 21 you can drink. 10's a big one. 10
is not a big stop.
10 is a big one.
Double digits.
You got 10. I have arrived. I have double digits now.
No.
Get this 9 out of here. I'm 10.
Where is 50, Michelle? Where? And if you had to rank it and be accurate with the ranking, where is it in the top 5?
Honestly, I feel like it's one. And maybe it's because I'm sitting here looking at it, but also because, when you are 21, 50 seems like 100. And I do feel like, you don't know what you're going to feel like when you're 50. You don't know what you're going to look like when you're 50. Like there's a lot going on and I feel great. So I'm just sort of like, all right, we're going to enjoy this one. Plan a good vacation for next summer and then, keep it moving. What'd you do, Dan?
We had a big party down here. We had a Moss Miami party down here that was a part of the celebration where I invited just about everybody from my life down here for there were
where were you, Michelle?
Thousands of people there.
Not invited, but that's just classic Dan and me. Like, this is the kind of friendship that I can't.
To him. I don't care.
I played the wrong one.
Wishing yourself a happy
Talking
birthday,
about yours.
huh? Damn, Dan.
Yeah, Michelle, thank you for being on with us. Always good seeing you. A reminder, she's the host of the NBA show, Run It Back with Chandler Parsons and Lou Williams. Always nice talking to you. Thank you for stopping in.
You too, guys. I always love it.
Do it more often. I was watching during some of the baseball yesterday, and I saw that a commercial. Josh Johnson, not the former Blue Jay and Marlin, but the quarterback, Josh Johnson, has a commercial because he's played for 14 teams. And so he was just going through the jerseys, but none of them were authentic NFL jerseys because you have to pay for that. And whenever I watch the commercials and the commercials have an athlete who's not allowed to wear the gear because that costs extra to put the gear from the NFL in your commercial, it cheapens the product for me. I can't take the product seriously, but I thought that was good work by Josh Johnson's agent to get him work when he has played for 14 NFL teams.
I thought you were talking about there's some company that does the bit of like, I need a backup, and it's just like random backup quarterback comes in to help you lift this picture in your. I know Case Keenum has been on there where he just shows up. You need a backup, I'm there for you. But John, that's a good agent right there.
Baseball loves stories like the one that I'm about to tell, which is I was mentioning earlier with Dominique that the Yankee third baseman, McMahon, wears number 19, the way that Aaron Boone wore number 19 when he played third base for the Yankees. And the Yankees haven't done much beating of the Red Sox in the postseason since Aaron Boone hit that home run off of Tim Wakefield, the late Tim Wakefield.
I saw that both starting pitchers were like 2 and 3. So like basically they have no recollection of any of like the classic Yankee Red Sox stuff.
The Red Sox were super hurt, right? So they're starting a pitcher in a deciding game, Connolly Early, who shouldn't be in that situation pitching that game. But the Yankees were countering with Schlittler, who also hasn't started very many games. Do you realize how much adrenaline you have to be on to be Schlittler and throw double-digit strikeouts against the Red Sox when you've never done it at any level? But I wanted to ask you guys if you saw when McMahon goes over the dugout railing and puts his hands on the dugout floor, you saw the Red Sox total indifference in that dugout about the situation that McMahon found himself in, which is a dangerous one. But there was one Red Sox who actually helped McMahon as he flipped over, and I'm wondering if the other Red Sox are like now mad at him because he did that. I think, was it Weissert? There was only one Red Sox who helped, and a lot of people are pointing out Derek Jeter famously went into the crowd one time to catch a foul ball.
Face first, I remember that. That one was brutal.
And let's be real, this is better. Because
Yes,
the face first was...
he could have stopped.
Let's be honest.
I remember being cynical at that, thinking he could have stopped or pulled up.
He dove into the stands there.
I mean, his
now,
momentum was flying that
to
way.
stop himself.
The other option is what? Fly into the wall?
But this was actually a catch over the railing. That's the difference in what I'm saying here. Like, that was the momentum carries you over. This, in this circumstance, to make that catch falling over the railing, it was spectacular.
You're just shaking your head yes. And
I mean, the Jeter move is so iconic. Like, I don't know if I'm going to be seeing that years from now, that play. That like,
wild card round.
I get it why it felt big last night, but it was no I mean, Jeter had a couple. Like, the most impressive Jeter play is the one in front of the catcher, right? The flip to the catch.
Hey, Jeremy, old buddy, old pal.
Hey, Mike.
I want to talk to you about Miller Lite. You and I have bonded over these last few weeks talking about our shared love of Miller Lite.
That's right.
A great partner of our show for practically its entire existence.
It's been a partner of this show since I was 10 years old.
And it's been around for 50 years, and they've been a part of our show for almost 20. We're approaching incredible partner status with Miller Lite.
I mean, to think that people were celebrating at my bar mitzvah with Miller Lite as they were a partner of this show is pretty incredible.
You're talking about the moments that are made better by making those times, those special times, Miller time. Jeremy, there's nothing like cracking open Miller Lite with your crew. This football season, it's especially true. Whether it's a touchdown you didn't see coming or just arguing about fantasy lineups you already know you're going to lose, Miller Lite has been the taste you can depend on for 50 years. Brewed for flavor with simple ingredients, rich toffee notes, that iconic golden color, and here's a kicker, Jeremy.
What's that?
It's just 96 calories.
I still can't believe that. We say it every week. I can't believe it.
It's just 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. It's the original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 5 decades later. Miller Lite. Great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
Hey NFL fans, what's your favorite touchdown? For me, mine is always the next one. With DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL, every touchdown could put cash in your hands. I'm talking first touchdown scorers, anytime touchdowns, live bets. Every snap is an opportunity. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code DAN. That's code DAN to turn $5 into $200 in bonus bets if your bet wins. In partnership with DraftKings, the crown is yours.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, fees may apply in Illinois. 21 and over. Age and eligibility varies by jurisdiction. Void in Ontario. Bet must win to receive reward. Minimum minus 500 odds required. Bonus bets expire 7 days after issuance. For additional terms and responsible gaming resources, see dkng.co/audio.
When did making plans get this complicated? It's time to streamline with WhatsApp, the secure messaging app that brings the whole group together. Use polls to settle dinner plans. Send event invites and pin messages so no one forgets Mom's 60th. And never miss a meme or milestone. All protected with end-to-end encryption. It's time for WhatsApp. Message privately with everyone. Learn more at whatsapp.com.
Dan Le Batard.
It sounds to me like everybody could use a hug because a hug is always the right size.
Stugotz.
All I have put in my body today is 3 cups of coffee and an entire cup of honey.
Go to the penalty box.
Don't let him fool you. He said in the break that he's jittery.
This is the Dan Le Batard Show with the Stugotz.
I don't like a best of 3 wild card rounds. I think, I've been kind of like, I've been dealing with I'm trying to work out my emotions here. I wish Michelle was here to ask her because she loved the last story. I've been trying to work out my emotions here on how I feel about the wild card round because, like, game 163 was awesome. Division round used to be the situation where, like, you can't celebrate the division round all that much, right? And now there's an extra round before you even get to the division round where, like, plays like this, a wild card round play when it's an extra added round to the playoffs, I feel like can't be where classic playoff moments live. And then to take it a step further, celebrations after you win the wild card round to get to the divisional round that's where I'm trying to figure out, like, I want you to be happy about it. If my team was in it, I'd be happy about it, but we can't be celebrating it like we just won the pennant. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you also celebrate once you clinch a postseason berth. So this is advancing in the postseason.
There's too many celebrations, though. Like, you could celebrate if you get in. And then I guess you could celebrate to get to the World Series. And then obviously you celebrate to win the World Series. But like the divisional round was always like, okay, we're excited to get to now play in the championship round. And now there's a wild card round to get to the divisional round, to then get to the league championship, to then get to the World Series. I feel like we need to start saving some of our celebrations, right?
I love that you bring this up. I want to play a video here of Stanton after the game last night, and Billy, and you be the judge here. Was he celebrating too much?
You'll find a way to get it done.
The only doubt was if that was a homer or not whenever I hit it. So thank goodness for that bonehead play that the team was resilient enough and Cam was resilient enough to go out and it didn't mess up the chemistry or the moment. So that's good. And kids at home, don't do that. Future opponents, please do that.
I love this.
Bonehead play. So I'm just glad it worked in our favor and it won't happen again.
Champagne celebration, and you're giving a lesson to the kids at home.
That smirk at the end. He sounds like The Rock.
He did stand there, watch his home run, looked into his dugout, and should have been thrown out at second base because he thought it was a home run and it bounced off the wall. Usually he knows when he gets them. It was weird to watch him not know.
I saw that was like the fastest in his career he's ever run from first to second. Whoa. Like, they can actually track all this stuff now, and he was just so panicked that he ran fast.
Which is saying something, because that guy can no longer move. Yeah. It's crazy to watch this person who was like the peak of athleticism.
No, he was never a good runner. Get out of here.
No,
we're not going to pretend he was ever
No.
Get
I'm not saying he was fast, but he was an athlete, and now he cannot move. It's similar to watching Pujols at the end, where it was like, oh, he could run a little at the beginning of his career, and by the end, he was in cement. But to have Giancarlo Stanton this way, seemingly miss a ball like that. He normally knows that ball's going 500 feet. It was so bizarre to see it end that way.
Is it reckless to say he seemed very drunk in
No.
that video where he was talking?
Not reckless.
Nah. And then I think...
Do you smell what Giancarlo's cooking?
The follow-up question to that is, how did he get so drunk so quickly after the game? Like, he's a big dude. Like, how much could he have had that he was like that quick?
I like to think he's probably not drinking a ton during season.
So like half a beer and he's there.
Hasn't eaten much.
Can you guys tell me, because I did not see how the Dodgers celebrated. The Dodgers have made this round 13 consecutive
They can't
years.
celebrate them. I will say, they can't celebrate that round at all. If you're the Dodgers, you cannot be celebrating the wild card round. In fact, you shouldn't be playing in the wild card round. That's a story for another day. Sorry, Dan.
I didn't see how they celebrated. I did see there was a difference, though. The Tigers really celebrated getting past Cleveland, at least in part because of how much relief they had, because it was the most historic collapse in the history of baseball that Detroit allowed Cleveland, a Cleveland team that's not that good, to catch up to them. So I assume there was a good deal of relief in being able to finally get past Cleveland, because Cleveland spent the last 3 weeks of the season kicking Detroit's ass and putting on them a special kind of misery. But the Yankees did not celebrate the way Detroit did on the field. It was a more muted celebration, even though for 20 years they haven't actually been able to get past the Red Sox in the postseason, which represents a total change from all of baseball history when it comes to the Yankees and Red Sox.
The Dodgers was similar in that it wasn't a huge celebration on the field, but afterward, a ton of champagne. The photos and the videos coming out of that of Shohei Ohtani and everybody else, they were celebrating, and that was beating the Reds.
And in their defense, they do have a couple days off now. We can argue about, like, I think we talked the other day about, like, the disadvantages for the teams that had to skip this round because they're going to be rust versus rest kind of thing. And I heard that they all had scrimmages because everyone's worried about having too much time off. Yeah. So all the teams that were off had scrimmages, intramural scrimmages. So good stuff.
You've got in the buys, among the buys, I believe the only team that has. Are you guys laughing because Chris petered out there?
So again,
you guys are just laughing at him because he didn't close that with the dismount that you guys wanted?
I brought a helpful nugget there with the intramural games and
teams
the rest
with the
versus
buys,
rust.
The teams with the buys don't have a great deal of national interest, even though I'm interested in them. You've got Brewers, Blue Jays, and Mariners. The only national interest you're going to find is in the Phillies with the bye, but I think that you need the Dodgers and the Yankees to advance there to capture the imagination.
But we had that last year. Like, I guess maybe for like the, common not really paying attention to baseball fan, you would want the Dodgers and the Yankees. But we had that last year, and it didn't do like world-breaking numbers regardless.
The Phillies are the team, I think, that in terms of entertainment value and giving people something different. Like, obviously, the Yankees are always going to be that powerhouse that attracts viewership, but I think if you ended up with Phillies, Yankees, or really any combination, to know you have Schwarber, who put on that show in the All-Star game, Bryce Harper, like the name recognition is there with that team, and they would have beaten the Dodgers to advance, which would give you that storyline.
It's super strange to see because Phillies Dodgers is great, but it's super strange to see them both behind the Brewers, to see both the Phillies and the Dodgers have to bend a knee to the Brewers. And I want to talk for a second because we skipped past this when it happened because it was the late game, because the Reds were not a match for the Dodgers, didn't make it interesting. The Dodgers could have and should have lost last year to the Padres in one of these short series because of how random baseball is. But what Shohei Ohtani did in the first at-bat of that series, where Hunter Green is throwing 101 miles an hour, and Ohtani's turning on it and sending it out of the park at 118 miles an hour, and it was his second most impressive home run of that game. He's doing stuff in the postseason that Judge has not yet done. I thought that the Yankees had a real good chance, even though the Red Sox are injured, of succumbing to baseball because for the last few postseasons, they hit a lot of home runs during the regular season, and then they get to the postseason, and the home runs go quiet. And they go quiet even if they're playing in Yankee Stadium where they have that favorable porch. Aaron Judge is getting 2 hits a game, but they're not home runs.
Singles right up the middle.
And last night he was 0 for 3. Like in the deciding game, ultimately. They made history last night as the first wild card team to lose game 1 and come back and ultimately win that 3-game series. But Judge didn't have a ton to do with that.
But
and
I don't think anyone expected Aaron Judge to be what people have expected Shohei Ohtani to be.
How do you mean?
I don't think anyone thought that Aaron Judge was going to be the greatest baseball player of all time, which is the standard that Shohei Ohtani has.
Yeah, but
so like to say he's never done what Shohei has done, I don't think anyone ever thought, outside of New York, where they just assume everyone is going to be the greatest thing ever. I don't think that was the expectation for Aaron Judge.
But once they get to the postseason, Aaron Judge is now carrying around that he has not carried that team in the postseason. Like even Stugotz was down here last year saying, Shohei, show me something in the playoffs. And he's doing it. Like he's doing the same things in the playoffs that he did during the regular season. Aaron Judge has not. Aaron Judge, what are Aaron Judge's power numbers in the postseason? Go ahead and look it up for me because he's carrying around the burden of, hey, Aaron, when are you going to show us power in a postseason? Because you're an absurd baseball player, and you just had one of the most absurd offensive seasons I've ever seen, either steroid division or non-steroid division. The fact that Aaron Judge hit for power and hit for average this year when no one's hitting for average.
Aaron Judge's career OPS in the regular season is 1,028. In the postseason, it is 768. It is a giant drop-off in terms of his slugging percentage, and it has weighed on them for years. Giancarlo Stanton is the reason that they made that run to the World Series last year. We learned this on the pitch clock this week. He's 4th in Yankees franchise history in RBIs. Giancarlo Stanton
because of last
in
year.
Yankees franchise history. It's nuts.
It's a bit of a cheap
player
code
that he's been
because of the extended playoffs now, but yes.
Of course it is.
No. In all-time in playoff history in RBIs?
All-time Yankees postseason history.
Okay, postseason.
They play more playoff games. That's part of the reason. But how many home runs has Judge hit in the postseason?
He has hit 16 home runs. That's in 61 games. So those home runs are there, but not at the rate that you see in the regular season. And it's just a .212 career batting average in the postseason. So, look, I mean, this year he's off to a better start, and the hope for him would be that moving forward it would be better. But I mean, look, in 2024, he hit 184 and had a slugging percentage of .408 in the postseason. He was not dominant by any means. They made it there in spite of him in some ways.
Billy, how do you feel about the fact that Jazz Chisholm and Miguel Rojas and Luis Arias, that all of these former Marlins are all over your postseason? Do you have any feelings about that?
No. I'm not I don't feel bad that they're there. I'm happy for Jazz that he's there.
I'm rooting for Jazz.
Miguel Rojas honestly seemed like a pain in the ass at the end, if we're going to be honest. He was blocking everybody on Twitter. He was picking fights with people. Like, good for him, I guess. But
how is he still in the league?
I'm not crying over spilled milk on that one.
How is he making that roster still? That roster is so good. How is he still making?
He had a good season, to be honest with you. Like, he's a very serviceable. I was shocked. I thought he's a starter on the Marlins and probably nowhere else.
Wait, he starts for them?
Yeah, he plays a ton of games for the Dodgers. I was wrong on that. Like, he's a serviceable piece on the Dodgers.
That's crazy.
Also crazy, Roy got a glove from Apple the same way that Michelle Beadle did.
No, you did. Your name's on the glove.
Oh, it's mine. You were showing it to me. I thought you got one.
Hey, Jeremy, old buddy, old pal.
Hey, Mike.
I want to talk to you about Miller Lite. You and I have bonded over these last few weeks talking about our shared love of Miller Lite.
That's right.
A great partner of our show for practically its entire existence.
It's been a partner of this show since I was 10 years old.
And it's been around for 50 years, and they've been a part of our show for almost 20. We're approaching incredible partner status with Miller Lite.
I mean, to think that people were celebrating at my bar mitzvah with Miller Lite as they were a partner of this show is pretty incredible.
You're talking about the moments that are made better by making those times, those special times, Miller time. Jeremy, there's nothing like cracking open Miller Lite with your crew. This football season, it's especially true. Whether it's a touchdown you didn't see coming or just arguing about fantasy lineups you already know you're going to lose, Miller Lite has been the taste you can depend on for 50 years. Brewed for flavor with simple ingredients, rich toffee notes, that iconic golden color, and here's a kicker, Jeremy.
What's that?
It's just 96 calories.
I still can't believe that. We say it every week. I can't believe it.
It's just 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces. It's the original light beer since 1975 and still hitting different 5 decades later. Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories. Go to MillerLite.com/Dan to find delivery options near you, or you can pick up some Miller Lite pretty much anywhere they sell beer. It's Miller time. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.